Hey guys, welcome back. This is Nightwolf53 back here again with another What If. As you see from the title, this is not a requested one, but one I have made up on my own, and there has been a person out there that have done it, but mine's going to be different from theirs. Way different. So, with that, now, I have some news. I won't be doing another Finia video until either Saturday or Sunday, because I feel like I've been getting a lot much of that instead of what I wanted to do at first, being either Sans or the kicked out of heaven deku. And because of that, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to allow them to just take control of this greatness that I've given them. So what I've done is I am going to take it back from you. Yes, I'm literally just going to say no and not give you it. I am going to make you wait until I give you the next part. So, on with my little story. I have not been, I guess, liking how I talked in these videos more because I did not feel invested into it. The ideas were plain simple minded and something that you guys chose, nothing I chose. I like the ideas, it's just that I want you guys to do it on your own, to make your ideas visible to you. Now, if you're another What If YouTuber giving me those ideas, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. But still, I would rather make videos that are more helpful for me than it would be for anything else. So yeah, this What If is going to be a bit different. So, let's get into it, shall we? Where we start off is Deku. Oh god, I forgot. So if he's born then, 18 years, so 6. So if he joins by that time, just give me a sec. Alright, my bad. I had a little bit difficulties right there. Yeah, recording. Yeah, I need to figure out what his age was. So, Deku was born in the late 1920s. He was born in 1927 at the by, I'm gonna say, still Inko Midoriya and Izuku Midoriya. They're both American. Yes, he is American, so it is not what you think, though. It is not. He's gonna be both German and American. I guess of everything, really. So yeah, he's born in America, and he has a German heritage. He stays in America until 1929, before the stock market crashes, and it's already the end of the war. The war has already ended, and their parents decide to go out and have fun. So they decide to go to Germany. With that, Deku and his family goes to Germany and has a good time for a month. He isn't that old he was only 2 by the time, with his 3rd birthday coming up soon. But tragedy struck. The Great Depression hits. For the next 10 years. No. Yeah, for the next 10 years. No, I guess, no, next 9 years. Until the start of the 1939. Through that time, Deku has been lost to his parents. His parents have thrown him out for extra money. They sold him to wealthy businessmen that were looking for someone to beat through this time. As through this time, things were not looking good for Deku. As he got skilled in some things during his time with his family, but not much. More talking in English than really doing anything successful with his life. But soon, something broke out. The Nazi Party finally broke out and took leadership, with Adolf Hitler being at the top ranks. With Adolf in power, Deku saw a new hope for his German life. So he took Adolf's hopes into his belief and used it for the military. At age 12, at age 12, he joined the military. Whenever he was in the military, it was hard. Working every day, trying to get food or something for him. But either way, he still worked and worked. Until September 1st, where he was assigned his first mission as a German line. He was given to one of the German occupants at the time, and he was used for very brutal techniques. As soon as Hitler signed a non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union, they attacked. Poland was surrounded by both Germans, with Deku being a very great infantryman during the time, being lucky to even survive getting out of there. As captive Jews were taken, and Deku was upgraded from a grunt to a major in a short period of time because he was ranking up kills on the battlefield. As this happened, Deku evasively went through his training still until 1940, where he finally was 13. And during this time, he was... I don't know if I'm... No, wait. He's 14 at the time. Never mind, he's 14. My bad. I'm doing this wrong. Until 1940, the invasion of France happened. The invasion of France was not normal for Deku. He had to drive a Panzer, being one of the Panzer IIIs with their very high capabilities on the battlefield against other lines. Deku drove for a couple months now, being in the German army. He's seen some of his friends already die on the battlefield, screaming in terror as they ran from the enemy. But he was still fine, still fighting for everyone he believed in. But he started to see the atrocities that he was committing in this new German line, or German army work. Deku used a bit blitzkrieg tactic that the generals told him about, getting him from a sergeant to a major. Then after that, whenever he finally reached at the end of the invasion, Deku was given fast training in the art of air combat, being with some of the Stukas in line, as Deku found them very capable of taking down targets, as he was in one of the 4th Division airlines. During this time, he was a very ace pilot, and he took part in the Battle of Berlin. Overseas, he was with bomber squadrons trying to take out many Berliners as they tried to defend their homeland, but indecisively, the Germans lost that battle because of some arguments between generals and not clarification coming through. They lost that battle. Deku soon was transferred over to the Navy Division. He was after almost a year of training after the incident at the Battle of Berlin, Deku started taking it a lot more serious. So far, he killed half a million Jews in concentration camps, was a horrifying sight, and he hated it all. But could he stop? No. Not because he was a psychopath, but because a higher-ups had told him to. He never liked it. He always hated killing him. And he knew that if he stopped, he would be killed for it. So he didn't stop. He just kept on doing what they said and did everything they asked with no questions asked. The first guy he killed, he said sorry to and hoped to be forgiven for what he's doing. It's just all in the name of the orders that he's been giving. He doesn't want to do this. As the guy forgives him for what he's about to do, as his general yells at him to kill the damn Jew, as he stabs him through the heart and then shoots him. As the Jew falls on the ground and being Deku's first kill in a concentration camp. After that, he had to kill 50,000, 500,000 more. As some have called him the most violent secondary general in history. But the people that saw what actually happened knew what was going on with that second general. He was never mean, never wanted this. He was hoping for a great Germany, but not like this. He wished for it to be good, to be nice to everyone, to reclaim what Hitler thought was the truth, but really, he was just being forced to do what he needed to do to stay alive in this wretched land. And with a body count now up in this time being almost being in the million, by being in the millions, with counting also active duty people like soldiers on the battlefield. And they saw the atrocities and they knew that no German soldier could ever be good. But Deku was the only one that was good. Like in World War II, where a British man saved Hitler's life by not killing him. Deku saved a Polish man's life, then a French. There are multiple British and different ones all across their countries. And each time he would get a kill, he would put out put down a paper lance that would go down. And it would say on the lance, for all the men and women that read this, my name is Izuku Zegdoya. Trying to say it German accent, but it's hard. Zegdoya. I'm sorry for the men and women, the fathers that I've killed on this great battlefield, the sons that have died on this land for a cause that was so stupid by this German hate. I feel sorry for everyone, and I wish to be forgiven. Orders are orders, as they must say, and they must be followed. So even though none of this is what I wish to be my fault, I still hope that you guys forgive me, you people of this wonderful country, still forgive me for what the Germans are doing. For the man that has tarnished this great land that he once said, if must say, in my honors, please take him down at any cost. As it seemed like 2 tears were on the paper when writing, as they heard his message and showed it to Churchill, the Chancellor. And he knew he heard about this person before, being the savage general, but being this nice, it had to be a trick. So he sent spies undercover to look at him and see if he was telling the truth. And sure enough, they watched him kill, yes, here and there. But he saw before he ever killed him, he always asked for their forgiveness and always gave him a present. Either being a letter from their loved ones that the German army would never let them have, or being a present from him himself. Either a badge that he created himself, that's telling that they were good men, but men that he never wanted to see in this dark hellhole. Before they finally shot him. After that, Churchill knew what he had to do. He knew the number that he flew and knew the number he was during the time. So in this, he asked what his next mission was. They did not know. 1941 finally rolls around. For a couple years now, he has been enrolled with the Navy. And with this, he has also been assigned to Battleship Bismarck as one of its gunners. And it was very hard for him. As one of its gunners, it was not that easy. Not easy at all. He had to do things that were unconventional for him. Well, he had to fire massive guns and make sure they hit their target. And he always did. He made them hit either way. And he was proud of that. Hitting a target at age 15 was a very great achievement. Even for him, that was very great. Oh god. Jesus Christ, this B-17 is fucking doing loop-de-loops. I'm playing War Thunder, my bad. But yeah, after a couple of days of being out on sea, they were encountered Hood, as Deku was in one of the turrets, turret 2. He was firing at the Hood as, well, he was hearing the gunfire from the Prince Eugen as a hit or two rocked Bismarck. As a few days later, Deku heard a command from Lutenberg, as it said, "I'm not having my ship get shot from under my ass. Open fire." As Deku released hell on the British battleship, British battlecruiser, as the fighting commenced. After 2 salvos of missing, Deku thought of aiming up just a little bit more than he needed. And as soon as they fired, 3 shots fell short. Except Deku. Or all shots fell short, except Deku's. Deku's landed straight in the hood and watched the German cruiser go up in flames. Oh. My bad, my headset cut out. Yeah. The Deku heard an explosion as the shell went through and hit the deck of the ship. He heard an explosion, and from this port side, he saw his port side window. He saw the British battlecruiser go up in a flame and saw that it went down. He was horrified by the screams and terror and by that blast that exploded the ship in half finally. It was the most terrifying thing he heard. As this happened, Prince of Wales' guns went out of commission and Hood finally went down as a single shot from him came at the Bismarck and hit. It didn't do anything, but what it did show is that even though she might be going down in front of your eyes, she will still live in the heart of the Navy. As Deku knew that that's what was gonna happen. As Deku was still young at the time, almost being 15. He was transferred over to Prince Eugen by a little tightrope that he had to come over to. And he went over there as he put his name on one of the guns of the ship in turret 2. As he left the German ship, as he went to the harbor with Prince Eugen. A couple months later, a couple days later, news came in. Bismarck sunk in the Atlantic, as he was still lucky from surviving great battles. As soon that happened, Deku had another job in the tank division. He had to take part in a little tank battle, the invasion of the Soviet Union, Operation Barbarossa. He took place during it and was a tank commander at the time. He was in the Tiger 1, being an ace tanker, having 50 kills on his record. All in his Tiger 1 he called 131. Soon enough, it was a little famous tank that they had now. It was very famous for the driver more than the actual person who was gunning the tank. As this happened, Deku found himself with another command to come back to base and having to resupply. He was in a German conservation camp for the Soviets and Americans, as he finally thought that killing over this many Jews of horrifying acts was too much for him now, and he finally gave in. He told himself that not another single person would die by his hands in this hellhole, as he grabbed some army soldiers from some army American soldiers, and went out and went an alliance, as he told them they were going to escape with him out of this hell. As they agreed with us, Deku agreeing with it. Deku finally having something in life to now live for, to help the Allies win against this hell nation. With this, Deku went over to the Americans, being shipped over by bombers. No, not by bombers, by squadrons and ships normally. As this happened, Deku found himself talking to Americans and British as he started to learn the language, because he was a bit rusty at it now, being 15 in the 1920s. In the 1940, it was 1942, my bad. I kind of said 1920s on accident. It was 1942, so yeah, my bad. So yeah, he was a bit rusty, but he still got the hang of it. As soon enough, he was transferred over. Some of the army generals asked who he was, as he asked the German occupations that were in his camp to please keep his identity a secret from his horrible past, as they told him he was James Izuku, because it was a common name at the time, as that was just a fake name that they used for him. As the officer said, okay, James Izuku, you'll be put into the army, because they never registered him. He was put into the training regiment of the Americans. It was a harsh time, but he still made it through. During this time, Deku found comrades he can trust, people that he can manage and make sure he had trust and connections with. with this also came downfalls. One of them being that his he already knew he would never see his family again, but he knew that he had lots of blood on his hands. Tons, over gallons. And that name that the Germans and the Americans gave him was a rumor. So they started forgetting about it because of he wasn't there anymore, still spreading, but because he wasn't there anymore, it never spread even further. So he got around to actually being friends with some of the people that he once thought were the enemies, but really now were his friends. After a year or two of being with the Americans, 1944, D-Day, June 6th. And that is where I'm going to end it. I hope you guys like that. I love it so far. Yeah, I will be playing Apex and other stuff like that if you guys like want to join or something like that. My name's just Nightwolf53, of course, but with 2711. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the dislike button if you hated it. Subscribe if you want to and see more content of this. And that's kind of it. Bye.